Here's something that's going to surprise you. That constant glob of mucus stuck at the back of your throat, the one that makes you clear your throat 100 times a day, the one that won't go away no matter how many times you swallow, in most people, it has almost nothing to do with a cold, and even less to do with the glass of milk everyone keeps telling you to give up. The real cause is usually something quieter, something happening every single day that no one ever explained to you. I'm Dr. Richard Ben, and walking people through the confusing, frustrating little signals their bodies send has been the focus of my work for years. And few signals are as misunderstood as this one. In my last video, I explained how one simple move after meals can drop blood sugar by as much as 52%, and the response was incredible. Today we're tackling something just as common and just as ignored. Before we go further, I want to hear from you. Drop your age in the comments and tell me one thing. How long have you been dealing with this throat mucus? A few weeks? A few years? You'll be shocked how many people are right there with you. Here's my promise. Today I'll walk you through the 3 most powerful causes of chronic throat mucus, ranked from the foundational one almost everyone overlooks, all the way to the #1 hidden cause that millions of older adults have and never get diagnosed. And that #1 cause? It can disguise itself for years, and the fix costs almost nothing. Do not skip it. Let's begin with number 3. Number 3, the slow, thickening mucus of dehydration and an aging clearance system. Here's a mechanism nobody ever explains to you. Your nose, sinuses, and throat are lined with millions of microscopic hairs called cilia. Think of them as a tiny conveyor belt that beats constantly, sweeping a thin layer of mucus down your throat where you swallow it without ever noticing. You do this all day, every day, and you're meant to never feel it. The problem begins when that mucus gets thick and sticky, or when the conveyor belt slows down. Then the mucus pools, and suddenly you feel every bit of it. 2 things make this worse. The first is dehydration. When you're low on fluids, your body pulls water away from secretions like mucus, leaving it gummy and hard to move. The second is age, and this is the part that matters for you. Research published in the American Journal of Respiratory and Critical Care Medicine in 2001 found that people over 40 had significantly slower ciliary beat frequency and significantly longer mucus clearance times than younger people. A later review reported the beating speed of those nasal cilia drops by roughly 3 cycles per second between your 20s and your mid-60s. And a 2013 pilot study found nasal clearance time was about 20% longer in older women compared to younger ones, meaning mucus simply sits there longer. It gets more relevant if you have other conditions. A study in the journal Chest found that aging, diabetes, and high blood pressure each independently slowed nasal mucus clearance. So if you're over 60 with blood sugar or blood pressure issues, your conveyor belt is working against you on 3 fronts. Picture someone like Margaret, a hypothetical 68-year-old who clears her throat constantly and drinks maybe 2 cups of fluid a day, mostly coffee. If Margaret simply spread steady water intake across her whole day, her mucus would thin and move more easily. A free fix that takes effort, not money. And here's your synergy tip. Thin, well-hydrated mucus also makes the #1 fix we'll cover work dramatically better. Hold that thought because what's coming next is the cause most people, and even some doctors, completely miss. Now to number 2. Number 2, silent reflux, the cause hiding in your throat instead of your stomach. This one stuns people. You can have acid reflux without a single moment of heartburn. It's called laryngopharyngeal reflux, or silent reflux. And instead of burning your chest, tiny amounts of stomach contents drift up and irritate the delicate tissue of your throat and voice box. Your throat responds the only way it knows how, by producing more mucus to protect itself. The result is that thick, nagging mucus and the endless urge to clear your throat. How common is this as a cause of throat mucus? Strikingly common. A clinical study published in 2023 found excessive throat mucus was the single most reported symptom among patients with reflux-related throat complaints, affecting just over 81% of them. A 2024-2025 hospital study of chronic throat patients found excess throat mucus in 87.5% of those with silent reflux. And worldwide, researchers estimate this condition affects somewhere between 5 and 30% of people, with one 2024 population study out of Saudi Arabia putting it at 31%. Now the age connection. A 2024 study characterizing silent reflux in older adults found that only 40% of elderly patients had normal swallowing muscle function, compared to over 71% of those under 40. As the muscle valve at the top of your stomach weakens with age, reflux becomes easier and more frequent, which is exactly why this climbs as a cause after 60. Picture someone like Robert, a hypothetical 70-year-old, no heartburn at all, who's baffled by his throat mucus. If Robert stopped eating within 3 hours of bedtime, raised the head of his bed a few inches, and went easy on late-night coffee, spicy food, and alcohol, the irritation would have a real chance to calm down. Every one of those steps is free. Here's the synergy. Pair this with the hydration from number 3, and you stop both thickening the mucus and triggering its overproduction at the same time. But none of this matters if you've missed the most common cause of all, and that's where we're going now. Finally, number 1. Number 1, chronic postnasal drip, the true source for most people. This is the real cause behind most cases of constant throat mucus, and the fix is almost embarrassingly cheap. Up in your nose and sinuses, ongoing low-grade inflammation, from allergies, from irritants in the air, from non-allergic sensitivity, keeps the lining swollen and producing extra mucus. That mucus runs down the back of your throat day and night. That's postnasal drip, and it's the textbook source of the mucus you keep trying to swallow away. Allergic inflammation alone affects an estimated 10 to 30% of adults, according to the World Allergy Organization. So what actually helps? Rinsing the nose with salt water, saline nasal irrigation. It physically washes out mucus, allergens, and irritants, thins what's left, and helps those cilia move again. A Cochrane review pooling 14 studies and 747 participants found that saline irrigation reduced people's symptom severity for up to 3 months. In one trial of nasal rinsing, 93% of people said it made a real difference to how they felt. Researchers consider it safe, low cost, and well tolerated. And here's a myth I need to bust, because it wastes so much effort: milk. A landmark 2018 review from the Royal Brompton Hospital in London, published in Archives of Disease in Childhood, concluded there is essentially no link between dairy and mucus, and a 2020 randomized controlled trial in 96 children confirmed no change in mucus or breathing after cow's milk. Milk just coats your throat and feels thicker. So stop blaming your dairy and start rinsing your nose. Picture someone like Eleanor, a hypothetical 65-year-old who'd cut out cheese for a year with no improvement. If she rinsed daily with saline, using clean, distilled, or boiled and cooled water, she'd likely feel her throat clear within weeks for the price of salt and water. The synergy that ties it all together: hydrate so the mucus is thin, calm the silent reflux so you stop overproducing it, and rinse the source so it never pools. 3 free habits, 1 clear throat. So let's bring it home. Number 3, dehydration and an aging clearance system thicken your mucus and slow its exit, so drink steadily all day. Number 2, silent reflux irritates your throat into making more mucus, even with no heartburn, so adjust your evening meals and how you sleep. And number 1, the real cause for most people: chronic postnasal drip, which a simple saltwater rinse can quietly transform. Hear this clearly. It does not matter if you're 55 or 85. Your body responds to good care at any age, and the habits we covered today cost almost nothing. Improvement is genuinely within reach. Now I want to hear from you. Which one will you start with first? The water, the reflux changes, or the saline rinse? And what's your single biggest challenge in sticking with it? Tell me in the comments. I read them. If this helped clear things up, please like this video, subscribe for more, and share it with someone who's always clearing their throat. They'll thank you. Because clearing your throat shouldn't be your whole day, and now you finally know why.